everybody? Wolverine here. I just wanted to put out a recap of what's going on with James Freeman. He gave a recap, and we're going to go to that recap, and we're going to listen to that recap. This is important that we get this stuff, that we keep a documented record on this, man. So during this interview, he's breaking it down, and I'm going to scoot it all the way up. There's remember, that's the pastor. That's the guy that got his door busted in. He's the one that started the story. He's the beginning of all this. And if it wasn't for guys like him standing out, we wouldn't know nothing about this piece of garbage. So, with that said, I want you guys to listen, because they literally locked down the building, pulling fire alarms, everything they can to stop this deposition.
Lawyer here, he's no good. He's made himself part of the story. We'll get to that later. Today, I'm going to give my final deposition. I'm just going to tell it the way it is. And I've also called I'm a public figure, so I've called for the resignation of Chief Nolan. We'll see how that goes. And that's it, man. I just appreciate all of you. I appreciate your prayers, appreciate your thoughts. And we're going to see what happens. I got to get in there. I got 2 minutes.
Hey, if anybody out there, they could really use a lawyer that will actually help them. And I don't know if it exists in the state of Arizona. There's been a few people that have been trying to help them out as much as they can. I don't know this stuff. I don't know how to deal with the legal stuff. But can the person behind the camera, can you talk and kind of tell the story that you told me earlier about what was going on? I'll tell you, the only reason I came up here yesterday is because they wanted to record he wanted for his own record to record the deposition. And at first the lawyer was telling him, oh no, you can't do that. And the only reason I came up here was to give them backup recording devices, because this was going longer than they thought it was going to go.
Let me welcome the people that are in here real quick. Skyhopper, what up? Low Dimes, Ray, GM. Let's see. Just me, Tyler, AFE, and that's all that's in here so far.
Concerned about batteries and devices.
There'll be more.
Running out of battery and memory space, and so I was bringing stuff up here to give them.
Yes, hear that?
Continue recording.
Listen to that alarm going off.
Deposition, and that was the point where they called the police out here, and the attorney.
What they're doing is bull crap.
Said, no. If you think that you're gonna give him more recording devices to record this, said he called the police out.
This is just ridiculous what they're doing. With all due respect, it is just unreal. James is there to document. He's allowed wherever you're allowed to be in public, so is your camera. He doesn't like me splurting out all these laws. Unfortunately, I believe in him more than he does, and that's why there is accountability here and there. But that if it wasn't for accountability, ladies and gentlemen, James Freeman wouldn't have got the $500,000 from Leon Valley. You guys understand that? So that's the only kind of head bumping substance that I have with James Freeman. Everything else is good.
And the chief of police, John Nolan, immediately never said you're detained, never said you're under arrest, never said get out, never said a word. Grabbed me by the neck, swung me around, and threw me down on the tile.
And thank God the guy there's a couple guys that was recording that were there. All the little 10 cops that come up in there and held him down and did what they did, none of them had freaking body cams.
I was released yesterday after being detained for 6 hours. They called it an outside agency. Anyways, that's not even. That's what they did.
And by the way, the outside agency is, according to James Freeman, said that they were recommending charges against the chief because James didn't do anything.
I was trying to help give him devices to record his own deposition. What?
Are they going to let you in?
Go ahead and point it that way.
They're not letting you in the door.
You know, they know I have a heart condition.
Oh, wow.
They know I have a heart condition too. I was supposed to have heart cath weeks ago. I put it off for this crap.
So now they're making him sit out here. This place opens it.
I want you to remember this when he records inside. Look,
7 a.m. But they're making him sit out here.
see that shit-eating smile right there by Rivera, J. Rivera? You see that? Remember that. Remember that.
Little phone stand again.
I thought you had it.
Oh, maybe I do. Yeah. I hope I do.
So they don't. He starts knocking on the door and stuff. And all right, here we go.
I'll help him out with that. Thanks.
You can take that for him if you want. We don't.
Remember, he's got a deposition going on in there today.
Okay, well, only people going to be allowed. We don't trust you. Why can't they help him?
Hey.
You can't be injured, so you're doing.
Well, then you need to do the dep.
Well, you could be injured.
You need to.
What's going on? Who ordered you to do this? Who made this order?
So we can.
Can I tell you who ordered this, please? I'm a plaintiff.
Oh, I get it. I'm not allowing you in, but.
I get that part. Thank you. I'm here by court order, okay? You have no say over it.
No, I.
You're the
Please
defendant.
tell me who ordered you to do this.
Yeah, my chief. So.
Chief
I
Nolan.
can, yes, sir. So I can help you with.
Okay,
He's still the chief.
The chief that committed a felony yesterday and a conspiracy is still chief. Wow.
Isn't he in prison?
No, he's not.
Not yet.
He's a free man.
Not yet. Why haven't you arrested him? Chief Nolan demanded that, dude, this is a deposition. How is the department that he's suing for violently attacking?
You guys don't even know who that guy was, do you? The guy that had the heart problem? He's a frauditor, huh? He's a politician, dude.
Him and his wife allowed to do this in a civil
And
deposition.
a pastor. What are you talking about?
In a federal civil deposition.
Dude, you're see what
This
I'm
is
talking
insanity.
about? No, I'm gonna leave him alone. Go on. Just
Unbelievable.
Will you
This is
please do your homework on the people you're talking about?
absolutely unbelievable. We're here live in Sarita, Arizona,
I would appreciate
where
it.
the
Thank you.
police department and Chief John Nolan, who is being currently investigated for aggravated assault, a felony offense, has ordered that
No big deal, Gloria. You know how it is. It is what it is.
no one is allowed in the police station.
You know, I still love you, sis. I love all my subscribers, man. You know, I appreciate your support. And I am 100% behind James on this. What's happening to him? I donated a bunch of money yesterday, and I did a live stream trying to get donations for him, but I guess it's the same people that was over there. So the people that was going to do the donations had already given, like I have.
Except for only one person who, by court order, is mandated to be here.
But it's not even supposed to be at the police station.
It's
supposed
not.
to be over there.
They changed. In fact, it was all
think maybe
scheduled
he
to
needs
be
to let
in the
them know.
town center.
I think he needs to let them know you need to come over to where it was actually scheduled.
But-
It was scheduled over here. They brought it over here so that they could try and lock everything down and bully people.
It's absolutely unbelievable. It's crazy.
How are the police who are being sued getting to control everything about the civil litigation? Through violence and threats.
Wow. You guys hear that? Through violence and threats. And this is what gives birth to people like James and I and the rest of the community. It's not that we hate cops. It's not that we disrespect authority. It's just that we delegate the authority and we know it. And these people were not going by the policies set forth that they signed in their code of conduct.
I was personally threatened yesterday with trespassing by the lawyer. The lawyer said, "I'm going to have the police come and take you out." That's why he was on his own recording, and that's why we wanted a better camera person in there and a better camera. They told us on the record that you are not allowed to record.
They also said they also told him he doesn't have a lawyer, he's pro se.
Yeah.
And so he was objecting to questions that the lawyer was asking, and the lawyer told him, "You're not allowed to object, you're not a lawyer." I mean, the bullying that's going
Even
on.
the
What's the
lawyers.
lawyer's name?
Jim Jellison.
Just for everybody's information, nobody is allowed to object. And the only reason why the lawyer's there is to keep people on topic. He still has to answer the question, no matter what. And they'll argue it out in front of the judge. The only time the lawyer will make an objection is when they want to make an objection later, so they know that they're putting it on their record, so later on they'll argue it in front of a judge. They can't stop the question from being asked, and they can't stop the question from being answered. The only time that they can stop a question from being answered if it has absolutely nothing to do with the case presiding in that situation.
Jim Jellison.
Yes.
I mean, the bullying.
And even
that's going-
then, it's not supposed to. If you read the CFRs on depositions in each state.
What's going on with this guy is insane. It's disgusting.
Yeah. And the video is absolutely damning to Chief John Nolan. That is why James Freeman is standing here, not in jail with no charges. All charges dropped because
There was no charges to drop. There were never charges.
we were told secondhand that you were being charged with aggravated assault on a police.
Now, I would not be surprised if they're trying to go secure a warrant for James' arrest for specific stuff like you're going to hear in this video and stuff he's done in the past and call it menacing. Okay?
Police officer.
That's what the chief demanded his subordinates charge me with. He demanded it.
He's not, but I'm just assuming.
They charged me with it, and most of his department are fans of the channel. At least half of his department are fans of the channel. And someone inside of the department reached out to someone outside and said, "Hey, someone needs to get in here and take care of this." And they got Marana Police Department to come in and said, "All right, you can't have the chief's subordinates investigate an alleged crime against that's a conflict. You can't do it." The Marana investigator came out here. He watched the video. He said, well, he came down and told me, "Well, I can see that you were the one that was attacked. I have no probable cause to arrest you, detain you, or otherwise, and you're free to go." And he said, "I'm going to forward this investigation to the state's attorney." This guy's a thug. He's a straight up thug. I mean, he's not even pretending it's under color of law. He never said you're arrested, you're detained. No, not a word. Just grabbed me by the neck and threw me to the ground.
Can you talk about maybe any recommendations from your lawyer about when we can release that video to the world?
I haven't talked to them yet today. We're definitely going to release it. They're getting in touch with some of the mainstream media in the area because while my audience, I love you guys.
Now, before I go on, he did skip something there. Remember when he said that they took him down and he's an absolute thug? And he would do anything to James. Well, what that chief was trying to do to James yesterday, ladies and gentlemen, is get James to respond. Get James to respond by fighting back, and then they would have had him right where they wanted him, right? Because resisting arrest after the fact always works in these kangaroo courts. So they would have did what they always do
this needs to, I don't have as large of an audience.
And he didn't do it, right? He didn't do it. Therefore, now, because he didn't feed in, now he's got the investigation fully on him. And James did the right thing by not defending himself.
Here.
Because see, he's been getting them to believe that he would defend himself if they did that. Remember that? Remember that, guys? He's been getting all kinds of people to tell that he's going to defend himself.
And this needs to be shown to the people locally. Right. They don't know what's going on. They don't have a clue. So they've been talking with the local media stations, which are probably going to want to air it on Monday. I think on Monday, possibly Tuesday. And so we're going to go in and do it.
Lowdine's been thinking the way I have.
Them probably. And
you never know. You just never know these days, but it's more likely. Preponderance of the evidence is more likely than not likely. I don't think so.
They choose to take it. We'll go do interviews with them and then probably release either simultaneously or give them the scoop on it and release after them.
Right. Yeah.
Exactly.
So we're talking.
But all the files have been
teach
sent
us a
to
lesson.
The attorneys. There were a handful of people that recorded. And so all those files were sent to me. They were sent to the attorneys. So it's all safe at this point. The biggest thing I was concerned about as soon as it happened, why I was throwing my cameras away, was Leon Valley. Attack, charge other people for attacking, and then steal all of the evidence and hold it for 2 years. When Leon Valley attacked me and other people, they
you gotta admit that's a pretty good strategy. Steal the evidence, hold on to it, and say, hey, it's an open investigation. It's common practices that we hold on to all evidence that they obtained.
held our phones and all of our evidence.
Regardless if it's circumstantial evidence or not, it's still called evidence, and therefore the law gives them the mulligan to do so.
2 years, even when the federal court ordered them to give it back.
You hear that?
Still refused.
You hear that?
Just blatantly defied court orders, which is what I guarantee you these people are going to do the same. So that was why I was throwing stuff and like, get it out.
Right.
The attack happened. Anyways.
Right.
I think James made a mistake when he said that, because now they know his tactics. See, when you're doing covert operations like this, you shut the building down, you're trying to elicit a response from him. They're getting information that they would likely get in the future now. And like I said in the chat, they're watching you and they're going to hold this against you, even though, because that's what bootlickers do. Remember that, guys.
A lot of people want to know, was your recording retained? Do you feel like that was destroyed, or have we recovered that?
So we got it recovered. I don't know how it got destroyed, how it destroyed.
No, it's not.
I believe that at some point the camera is damaged pretty bad, and it is not a cheap camera. But I think one of the memory cards popped out mid-recording, which corrupted a file or something.
Right.
And so initially we weren't able to get anything off of it, but we were able to restore it. And my footage wasn't even the footage that's going to be. It's not the key footage.
Right.
Because it was in my hand. It doesn't show him grabbing me by the neck.
Right.
And throwing me down. So,
but you have that footage from someone, right?
Oh yeah, I have it from multiple people actually.
Excellent. Tell me about a little bit about the history of John Nolan and maybe what set up him absolutely going berserk. Why in the world would he have this animosity towards you, a reporter?
So I do my reporting
now. James is being honest right here, guys. You have to admit it. James is definitely being honest.
Different than most people do. I like to add humor. People are tired of the news. They're tired of being lied to. But I try to make it entertaining, because the truth is, some of the horrible stuff that goes on, it's disgusting. he's not a big fan of the way that I do things. So the way that I tell stories, the way that I show what's going on with humor and sarcasm. But specifically, I've published, I think, 2 or 3 stories on him specifically, showing what a horrible human being he is. And by that, I mean, showing video of him, his speech, the things that he says, the things that he does. Not something I said about him. I simply showed people him. And it didn't look good. And he's mad. I didn't think that he would be this mad about it. I've never been attacked like this, ever, over something like that. I was genuinely actually shocked. I knew he was scummy. But
Now, we've talked to some of the locals, and even before you came to town and started doing your reporting, there were other things, like even the case of the pastor and his wife. That happened well before you came.
Yep.
There was another situation with a man with a motorcycle helmet at Walmart. That was covered by the Audit, and that was under the regime, I guess you could say, of John Nolan.
Right.
And going through that whole story and looking back, it appeared that the police won. They got the ruling they wanted in the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals, and basically came back and said, "Hey, we're in good shape because those guys in black robes said that we were good." They said that essentially, that guy who was reserving his rights to remain silent, he needed to be taught a lesson that you're not allowed to do that.
That's what a Supreme Court justice said. And then in the Ninth Circuit, said you need to be taught a lesson for exercising his right to remain silent.
Absolute insanity. So this goes back, the history of John Nolan and everything. And I've even talked to other people saying, hey, what is John Nolan really about? And the story comes out in your story with Pastor Aiken, Pastor Steve. He said, John Nolan is really the chief of toys. He buys all new toys all the time. So that battering ram, that one that they hadn't used yet, that was a toy they bought that they couldn't wait to use. Right. And you go down the history and they're like, hey, why did you buy 4-wheelers? And when that wasn't good enough, you bought Polarises. You bought a instead of
Crazy,
a taser,
man,
you bought a taser glove.
Right.
All these things that Chief Nolan said, hey, if it's new, if it's good, the first thing he came
all
to
on federal money. Too.
Correct. And
which means that everyone across the entire nation, because these people like to say, well, stay out of our town. This is our town. But they're more than happy to suck your money out of you that you work hard for every day to pay for their stupid toys and to pay to terrorize elderly people and bash their doors down. So when you call or email or reach out and they say, well, you don't live here, so you don't get a say. Stop taking my money then. I don't get a say in what you do, but you literally get to take my money.
Absolute insanity. And it was spoken in the room when you were arrested that this is the end. John Nolan, you're going down for this. The truth is, it's not in our hands. It's in whose hands is it in? Who is the boss of Chief Nolan?
I've personally seen the system do nothing but fail, and that's why I really just try to document it.
Right.
Because I don't. I know people want like hope, but I don't like giving false hope.
Right.
The hope is, I think there's hope, but it's not in what you think it is.
So, and here's where my buddy and I bump heads. This is where me and him bump heads. Okay. Regardless if he's doing it for the money or not, I don't give a shit. Right. You got to listen to what he's saying right there. Let's listen to what he said again.
Right.
All these things that Chief Nolan said, hey, if it's new, if it's good, the first thing he came
all
to
on federal money. Too.
Correct. And
which means that everyone across the entire nation, because these people like to say, well, stay out of our town. This is our town. But they're more than happy to suck your money out of you that you work hard for every day to pay for their stupid toys and to pay to terrorize elderly people and bash their doors down. So when you call or email or reach out and they say, well, you don't live here, so you don't get a say. Stop taking my money then. I don't get a say in what you do, but you literally get to take my money.
Absolute insanity. And it was spoken in the room when you were arrested that this is the end. John Nolan, you're going down for this. The truth is, it's not in our hands. It's in whose hands is it in? Who is the boss of Chief Nolan?
You know, I've personally seen the system do nothing but fail, and that's why I really just try to document it.
Right.
Because I don't. I know people want like hope.
Why do you think he's there with this equipment? Why do you think he's there to cover this? Why do you think he's there to speak on this? Okay. Eventually, that lawsuit that he's going to have against them is going to be well over $1 million. I promise you that. Okay. That's why he's there. And there is something you can do about it. And he's doing it. Sorry, James. We'll agree to disagree on that. But moving forward,
I don't like giving
I still got you back, brother.
false hope.
Right.
You know, the hope is, I think there's hope, but it's not in what you think it is.
Right.
I have definitely lost 110% of faith in anything their system. Do I still operate within it? Yeah, because I'll get killed if I,
Or will be, don't tell him. Yeah. That's funny.
Right.
They've got the biggest stick, but is it legitimate? I mean, I'm really just here to document it and try and show you, is it legitimate? Or is it really just a gang of thugs and thieves? Are they the exact people that we thought we created a government to protect us from?
Yeah, we were talking about what we would say to the council, to the town council, to tell them to do something. And I think the answer goes right in what we're saying, is if they want to pretend that it's all real, if they want to keep the charade going, they would at least pretend that the rule of law applies, that the person who attacked the innocent person is going to jail. And we just saw that he is still the chief of police. He is still not being prosecuted, not in jail. And hey,
I do believe that the rule of law does apply. I just think it applies to whoever.
So, and there's still, I mean, more important,
whoever absolute power thinks it does. It is used. Hell, we watched a U.S. president get charges put on him and get convicted of charges that wasn't even there. He's done a lot worse things than that. If you guys really knew what those charges were, they stinted off of federal charges that were dropped. Therefore, if you can't prove them, you can't prove these.
Honestly, we're still not allowed to help him record and make sure that he has devices, and they're still locking down the entire building over a federal civil deposition. Like, this shouldn't even be being held at this location. It shouldn't even be.
Yeah, this is the municipality. It's for the people. It belongs to the people. But this is this chief's way. If he gets away with this, and if James don't hold him accountable, what happens is he gets away with it 1,000%. And this is why I would strongly suggest that James watches back. Okay? Because if he gets away with this, it's going to set a precedent around there where they will do exactly what they did to James to everybody. I'm telling you. That's what makes this world go round. Those of you that don't want it to happen, it'll intimidate you. Those of you that do want it to happen, you guys will double down on it because them are your gods and masters.
Yeah. Hey, chat, throw some ideas. What can we do to
You hear this right here? In my opinion, this was a mistake right here. This was a mistake.
hold not just the police accountable, but also the lawyer accountable for all of this? He set this all up. These are interesting things to ask. Like we said, we're not We're not good at this dark magic. They are. But there's some people out there that are good at this and can really help us with, or help in certain ways. I don't know. But we know there's still good people in the world out there. They're definitely not part of these institutions.
When there are good people who are part of these institutions, but when they find out what's going on, they leave. Because once they really realize what's going on, they realize I'm a good person, so therefore I cannot be a part of this. There are a lot of people, I know for a fact, there are a lot of people who still go out to be police officers because they think they're going to get to help people. Like, for real. They think they're going to get to help people. And
That's what
be,
James is doing. He's contradicting his own statement.
The guys who genuinely
He's there to help them guys. Remember? There to record them.
And we've got a few that we're interviewing for the documentary for Tucson Police that went through training and all that. Some of them worked for 1 or 2 years and couldn't do it because they weren't sick human beings.
Crazy. So what's next? Tell us about what's next for the pastor and his wife.
I'm hoping that we can find them a lawyer. These procedures.
Ideally, one that works on contingency, right?
Yeah.
That takes a cut of the final.
Right.
Got it.
Because he had a lawyer before, but the lawyer charged him $30,000 to do almost nothing, really.
Right.
He actually didn't do anything until the very end when he said, "You know what, man? You haven't done anything. Why?" And then I guess he got him something. He still doesn't even have discovery.
Right.
That's how the lawyers
that discovery
are, man.
is due by August 19th.
That's a municipality
But
lawyer.
I don't think there's any expectation that they have to give it up. That they're starting to. We're starting to have to go through like a motion to compel for discovery.
But a lawyer who understands the civil procedure would have had it done.
I agree.
Because this system is not set up for the average person who's been harmed by their government to be able to get any type of restitution or justice whatsoever. It's set up to do the exact opposite. It's set up to hurt people further that have already been hurt. Everyone saw what happened. It shouldn't be. They're continuing to be damaged, even through this process.
What's being released in the air?
Some type of restitution for what was done, or some type of accountability.
Give us a little nugget about maybe one of the police officers.
He heard it too. Listen. Watch him like twitch and look to the left. Like something's being released out of some kind of gas or something. Listen.
Everyone saw what happened. It shouldn't be.
See? He did it right there. I heard it. You heard it. You never know. They might have in different places stuff set up where they have deadly gases. You just don't know. It's sad. It is so sad that I have to think like that. It's like, it's not paranoid, it's paranoid. It irritates you and it makes you more aware of yourself. It's not, and you just don't know what these people are capable of because you actually do know what they're capable of. You just don't know how far they're willing to go because they have broke so many thresholds. It's unreal.
They're continuing to be damaged, even through this process of trying to get some type of restitution for what was done, or some type of accountability.
Give us a little nugget about maybe one of the police officers you saw and talked to yesterday. The film is coming, but maybe tell us a little bit about who you saw that you might have recognized.
When I was being attacked.
Hey, AFE, I just want to tell you something. Cut out everything after the why on that copy and paste. Highlight the question mark all the way to the why and then hit delete and then paste it and you'll still get it. All that other stuff is, I don't know why, it's just filter bull crap.
You know, I do want to say this. I want to give credit where credit is due. When you do something wrong, you did something wrong. When you do something right, Sergeant Heath, I don't know if it's Sergeant or Lieutenant Heath.
Let me give you an example.
I really
Let me
got
give you an
pretty
example.
upset at the way that he bowed up to.
All right. If I'm going to teach people, I might as well teach them the right way. Let's see. I believe I was sharing the whole. I believe I was sharing the whole screen, wasn't I? There you go. Now look. Watch. Look at this, man. You don't need all that other stuff in there. That's just other mumbo jumbo. I don't know why it's doing that to you. There you go. All right. Back to the narrative here.
Deborah Aiken inside of her own home when she was trying to get into her bedroom. That really, really upset me. Yesterday, Heath was there when I got attacked. And I didn't know who was who or what was going on because I was kind of just, grabbed by the neck and thrown to the ground. But somebody was on my legs crushing them.
Yeah, but if you're going to know it, you're going to know it through stuff that's important to you. And it's all attached to things that you do. And what my Fourth Amendment right and how I see it and how it's used for me is like on my property versus you being in a car, you know what I mean? Or somebody being on a boat, you know what I mean? Or somebody just walking down a sidewalk, right? People still use it to the substance at hand, and it's the same substance. It's just whatever you use it for. So it's not that complicated.
And cutting off circulation.
It's a guideline.
I didn't know who it was. And I kept saying, get off my legs, get off my legs. And by the time I finally got up and turned around, the only person there was Sergeant Heath. And so I went at it.
So that kind of contradicts the 10 police officers that were on him. Listen to that again.
Really upset me.
See, this is why it's important not to go crazy.
Yesterday, Heath was there when I got attacked. And
he's seen everything. And according to him, there was 10 police officers.
I didn't know who was who or what was going on because I was kind of just, grabbed by the neck and thrown to the ground. But somebody was on my legs crushing them and cutting off circulation. I didn't know who it was. And I kept saying, get off my legs, get off my legs. And by the time I finally got up and turned around, the only person there was Sergeant Heath. And so I went at it. When I saw the video later, I found out that it was Chief Nolan who was crushing my legs, and it was Sergeant Heath who pushed him off and told him to stop and told him to leave. And so, Sergeant Heath, thank you. I mean, the situation that happened yesterday, it sucks. I want to say this too, man.
Why shouldn't the what fourth branch of government's out there? 7 city kids, just curious.
Half of this department are fans of the channel. They're fans of. They want liberty and justice for all. At least half of this department knows that what happened yesterday was wrong. Very, very wrong. They know that what their chief did was wrong. And it, for those who do join the department, who decide they want to become cops because they really think that they're going to be able to do good for people and end up working under someone like Chief Nolan, how fair is that to them? You know, for all the people who say, oh, well, you know, you police accountability or frauditors or whatever you are, and, you know, you're just looking for a fight. But what about when we know, when everyone knows that
Hey,
there's
Patricia.
that one dirty cop?
You know, my subscribers don't always know to go to him, and so I just give the updates because they like the way I update things. So they come and watch.
He's at the top. Are you doing the actual good guys any favor by turning a blind eye or saying, oh no, we'll wait for the system to take? I mean, at some point, if you really wanted to help the good guys, if you really wanted to help them, I think that you would do something about the bad guys. And especially when the bad guy is on the top. I mean, dude, these guys were in a situation where they knew goddamn well I didn't commit a crime and that they didn't have probable cause or even reasonable suspicion, and they did not want to hold me there. And they had an option to either do what their chief said or lose their job yesterday. And I know, like,
What's up, Patricia?
I know it's not an excuse. You know, we talk about Nuremberg
Okay, Sky.
trials, you know, just following orders. I know it's not an excuse, but I wish that more of us could have a little bit more empathy and try to see if we're going to make this world a better place in any way whatsoever. I think we need to at least try to see where other people are coming from. And I've thought about it myself because I've got a lot of kids. I said, man, that would be a tough situation if all of a sudden I thought I was doing the right thing, and then one day, boom, I realized, I come to this realization, holy crap, I have an innocent man in my custody. I could take the key and release him right now, and that's it. That's my career. Hell, I might even get criminal charges for doing it, even though it's the right thing to do. It's easy to say that we
Exactly,
want them to do that, and it is the right thing to do. But I mean, I really wish that people would think about
That is true.
if a cop really does the right thing, because the right thing isn't just, you know, not attacking people, it's releasing the guy who got attacked, right? If a cop is really, really willing, that takes a lot. That would take a ton of
Well, the
courage.
right thing to do would be to, what would any other, let's talk about this for a second because it's important. What is the right thing to do when an individual that is under the jurisdiction of the place that they live at in Arizona, they're in that town under that jurisdiction? What is the right thing to do? The right thing to do is to get both of their driver's license, write their information in, take a statement, go to your sergeant, tell your sergeant what happened, come back and put cuffs on somebody and put them in the back of the car, 10-8 them, take them wherever, and that's that, right? Is that what happened? That's the right thing to do.
Are you and I willing? Are you willing to stand with that cop though? If you were to do that, because the hell that's going to come down on him for it. I mean, it's easier said than done. I think that there are some cops in this department who are ready and willing, who are genuinely ready and willing to stand up and say, no, this is wrong. What's going on here is wrong.
I'm going to say something right now. Somebody in here that's listening, and I know you are. You and I have always respected one another, and the people that are around you are not respecting me, and it's putting you in a weird position. Don't feel like you have to fall out with me. Don't feel like you have to change anything. Don't feel like, just because that person's mod was taken from them because they hit their channel and came back, they lost all their mods. If you was to give that back to that person, don't feel bad. Don't feel bad. Don't be the judge of your own character. If you don't have no problem with me, and if you like facts and you're dedicated to the truth, you should not let that bother you. And they should mind their own business. Be the judge of your own character, man. I'll know when I come back into your channel. Okay? Don't let that fool you. And the only reason why I want it restored is because it was there. It was given to me for a purpose. Okay? Just like you did everybody else. Because it disrespects people. People looks at that as disrespect. And that's exactly why the people around you are like, the hell with it, leave it as is. It's just not right. My opinion is facts. If I don't have a receipt, you don't accuse people of something major, period, point blank,
But are they going to be on their own
without a damn receipt.
when they do it, you know? They're just going to get abandoned, you know, fired, move on with their life.
And that
forgotten.
that happens to cops too. You know, they're professional witnesses. The hell, they don't even need receipts. I mean, they do to most of us because we know that they should have their body cam running. And there's no excuse because we set safeguards in place. So as soon as they turn their lights on and do the routine traffic stops, it automatically turns on, you know? We have safeguards in place, but they don't want that.
It's crazy. Throw a shout out to some of your friends in the Tucson area that really helped with, I guess you could say, documenting the process. You mentioned the Tucson team that really came together for you.
Yeah, they always do. I worked with a lot of people over the years, but Pigs Under Pressure and Tucson Police Suck are some of the few that I consider real friends, not just colleagues, but real friends. And yeah, they came out and were searching for me. They were scouring the hospital. You know, I had a lot of support, and that's why I wanted to come back here today and say, look, this shouldn't be about what happened to me yesterday at all, because we were here for another purpose, right? And that purpose was the agents.
They're there.
And what happened to them. So I am incredible because I do have a huge support system. I really do, from my family to my friends to colleagues, viewers, subscribers.
Or you're an auditor and you want to come early and hang out and see what's going on. Larry said he'd probably buy a pool table just for Audapalooza. So all you people that think you can beat me in pool, show up Saturday. You can show up probably Thursday, Friday, the 16th, 7th.
I think that's what it needs to be focused on here. They need help. They're being bullied. They're being terrorized still. And what happened? We were just here to try to help.
Can you imagine being hurt by someone and then be ordered by the court to come to the people, to come to the house of the people that hurt you? Absolute insanity. That, I believe, is on the lawyer. I talked to Pastor Steve about this, and he is going, they're going to have a long conversation with the judge. They're still playing the game of depositions today, but these things are definitely either coordinated and real conspiracies against them, or complete ridiculousness to basically make them do this, like incompetence. It's either
between the higher brass and the lawyer, it's intentional. They're intentionally further harming these people. I think there's a lot of guys in this department that really don't have a clue what's going on. What's really going on.
Why don't you take over and look maybe for some chat kind of questions?
I think I'll probably just, well, I don't know if I'll cut it until I leave because I don't. Part of the reason I went live here today is for my safety. When I came out yesterday, it was just about, dropping off some equipment and leaving. I was going to drop some stuff off, show them how to make sure it's working, stays on, and go. I'm only live to kind of tell people what was really going on, and quite frankly, for my safety. Thanks for the super chats. Let me read those off. I see there's 42. Let me see. Yeah, they haven't fixed it.
So let's zoom this real quick.
QXM, Quebec X Media, Coffee. When you push the button to look at super chats, it shuts the whole stream down. It's been a glitch on YouTube for like 6 months to a year now. They still haven't fixed it.
It still does it. You got to go out and come back in. It'll rip you off if you're not careful, because you won't see your super chat.
Let's OTVO $10.
I see that one now because it's new. It's the ones that are old that can't. How much more needs to be seen? How much more needs to be done? Learn, know, and live your rights with honor. Thank you for the super chat. Let's OTVO. Glad to see you, Vertical. QXM, Quebec X Media, Coffee on. Hey, thanks. Appreciate it. I know a lot of you guys think I'm being too soft on them too, because there's some really horrible people here, but I've gotten really bitter over the years with the number of times that I've been illegally and unlawfully attacked. Never once have any charges stuck. Usurpationist uprising or usurping. Thank you, Kinetic Customs and Racing. I haven't slept at all either. Actually, I did not sleep at all last night.
I wouldn't either if I was. I know how that. I know that feeling. Get that adrenaline going.
Here's the thing. Like I for quite a while after being attacked so many times and seeing so many horrible things happen, I started getting really mad, and all it did was hurt me. It didn't hurt any of the horrible people that are doing horrible things. It only hurt me, and it was holding in the anger and the hatred. It just hurts yourself.
It does.
And if I'm going to continue to do this stuff, I can't afford to hold hatred in. For your therapy, you're going to need it. Larata, hey, thanks, East Carbon. Miss Rummy, did you go to the hospital? I did go to the hospital. They thought I might have a break in my wrist or my arm, but it was just a sprain.
I was talking to somebody about this, and they said, hey, when Chief Nolan gets inevitably dismissed from the force, like, who's next in line to be chief?
Right.
And I said, I might go to city council and nominate one of my friends.
Should I apply?
Yeah.
I've applied before.
Right. It's like, who's the most qualified to do the right thing when pressure hits, when pressure's on? Yeah, that would be James Freeman or Grande Johnson. One of those two.
Let's have that conversation real quick. Jesse says, "You were so wrong about Sean Reyes. Everything you've been saying has makes me feel. What do you mean makes me feel you're shaving your character down my throat? Okay, her down my throat. That's like you are just." Oh, okay. So I'm not gonna lose my live stream over your feelings, man. You could dismiss yourself. If you want to talk about it another time, because I'll prove it the day after they find him guilty. How about that? I want you to come back. And again, I don't believe anybody should be thrown in torture cuffs nor into a fucking jail cell, whether you feel like it or whether I feel like it or not. It doesn't matter because it was free speech. Sean wasn't there to hurt him, but he was there to get a response. And that's a fact. And that, my friend, is against the law when they have a voyeurism law that says for ill-gotten gains and materials that have an expectation of privacy, you are guilty of voyeurism. As soon as he knocked on the door, he got that response. Made him guilty. Then it made him guilty of the response of disturbing that piece of shit that we're talking about, his peeps. Sergeant, let me, maybe this will help you out a little bit. Sergeant Fay should be in a state penitentiary doing 2 to 8 years for felony assault on, oh boy. Do you understand that? That's all I'm going to say. I'm going to get back to what I was doing. You should not let your feelings be on your chest. And if you don't like what I'm saying, get the fuck out of here.
Guys, I think we'll have a two-way race between Grande Johnson and James Freeman.
You think I'd make a good good leader of the terrorists?
yeah. There's
Look, man, I have an inability to read and write, a bad temper,
23,999 is not going to hurt me.
and a short fuse, man. I'll be a perfect fit.
Very true.
NBCN Transparency, thank you. Thanks for what you do. If there aren't any attorneys available, do you think you can sue? We'll see what happens.
Thinks I'm pretty, and everybody should listen to me because I got feelings.
Which one?
Fairlane,
Sound like this goddamn
$5. Did you wear your black gloves?
No, they were in my pocket though. So after they got me down in the holding cell, and they had to empty my pocket.
So should I lie? Is that what we should do when we have each other's back? Is it to lie for each other? Is that what people think? Because that's not having your buddy's back. Is to lie for him and tell things that ain't true. What you do if you don't want to tell on him, right? You don't tell on him. You don't say nothing at all. Or you bring up things that are important. But when you do bring up things that are important, you leave yourself open to be questioned. Therefore, your statement shouldn't be on the record because people have a right to do what? They have a right to call you as a witness to subpoena you. Do you want to be subpoenaed? No, you shut the fuck up.
A lot of these guys here watch my videos, so when they pulled the black gloves out of the pockets, they all started just busting up laughing. Houdat accountability, stay strong. The auditor is the new patriot. Thanks, Houdat.
Yeah, I like that.
You got that from me.
And that was the interesting thing is the person
how I go
who
around
took the video and got the actual video. This is not an auditor in any way. It was just a person who said something bad's happening. I'm going to record, and it caught the entire thing.
Kinetic Customs, thanks for the $2. Time for Grande Johnson to go balls deep.
There
Yeah,
you
I'm
go.
glad you mentioned that because
There you go.
I want to talk about auditing. So when I
Man.
first started doing this thing that they call First Amendment auditing, the first time I
Let me
saw
do
it,
that person a favor.
I thought I had
Yeah,
already
that
been
way
recording my
you don't
interactions with
ever
government. Like I never had an
worry
interaction
about
with
chat
government that I
here.
didn't record for my own personal use. It was never to upload to YouTube or share with people or anything like that. It was just for my personal use because I learned very early on government lies. And so then when I saw these people doing this auditing thing where they go in around government buildings or into government buildings just to record because they get triggered by it, I was kind of shocked by it because I personally had never actually had any problems with the government telling me I couldn't record my interactions with them. And so I was like, man, that's kind of weird. And then I was like, well, no wonder you're in there for no reason. But then when I started seeing a handful of people that were conducting their legitimate business, they needed to do a records request or whatever it was. And I started seeing those people being told, no, you can't record. I said, oh, okay. Well, I think then that this going in just to record for no reason except to record maybe has its value to establish that, yes, we can record. But the bigger picture, though, was you can record for no reason. But more importantly, it's so that you can record when you're doing business with them because they lie, they cheat, and they steal. And so to me, even when I people felt that they liked the way that I talked and dealt with government. And so I was like, oh, okay, I guess I'll show people how I would talk to them if they tell me, hey, you can't record in here while you're doing your business. But I think that the whole recording for no reason is so dead. And the whole point was you don't like this that's not for auditors. That's for humans. When you're doing business with your government, it doesn't even need to be openly recorded. I would personally strongly recommend secretly recording every time. As long as you're in a public space,
right about that.
you can do that. And you're going to get a lot more of them treating you the way as bad as they normally treat you when they don't know you're recording. But the whole point is to document it for yourself, and for your lawyer later if you end up having to sue them because of something they've done to you. So, I mean, I think the whole recording for no reason is, look, man, we established it. Now do it for a reason. I'm glad you're okay. Thanks, Iowa Audits. That's just my opinion, my 2 cents on it from the South Side, $9.99. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you for your sacrifice in standing against these fascist scum. The police state feels emboldened and they need to feel fear. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah.
Crazy.
I unblocked you. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, just another shout out. If anybody else coming in late, we are looking for a lawyer to help Pastor Steve and his wife. That is an absolute thing that we desire and need. They need help. They're basically just saying, "Oh, you're a pro se litigant. We're gonna rake you over the coals. We're gonna drag you into the police office with the same people that violently attacked you and broke into your home." They need an advocate for sure on contingency. I have a feeling that this is going to start a big thing with the town council. They're going to want to. They're definitely going to want to settle this quick. Don't know for how much. Don't know what that means or whatever. But we need someone on our side to help that.
Dave, thanks for the $1.99. Mike, thanks for the $1.99. Will your deposition be at the police station? No. Kobe Lauder, thanks for the $5 super chat.
Yeah, that's a good question, though.
Where were you at, though? I wanted to read out the super chats, but it distracted me from where we. So you were saying they need help, they need a lawyer. Right?
Yeah, it's just another shout out for a lawyer. But that super chat kind of reminded me that, like, hey, how do you walking through this and really understanding how to navigate these things? It's really a full-time job. It's a full-time job with prior knowledge. Pro se, yes, you can do it. I'm sure there's tons of self-help things online. You have to give up your whole life and go all in on that. And
Most people lose. Pro se.
oh yeah,
Most
most
people
people lose. All
because
that,
it's
right?
and it's not even because they were wrong. It's because the system is intentionally overcomplicated to make it so that the laymen cannot get justice alone
Right.
without paying one of theirs.
Thank you, Patricia.
Eagle Nick, thanks for the $5. United we stand, divided we fall. Thank you.
Yeah, on that note, yeah, we would, no person in their sane mind would have the deposition at the location or the person in question. No, it's absolutely silly to think that. It was grossly incompetent at best to have the lawyer do that.
And what's the lawyer's name again?
Jim Jellison.
Jim Jellison is the terrorist that's continuing to bully
You
these
could
people.
tell he hasn't had no sleep. Look at the redness in his eyes, man. You know, this affects people, man. It really does.
Well, he's the terrorist who called the police on me because he didn't want me to give devices to the Aikens to be able to continue recording their deposition because their batteries were going dead. They were running out of space. Jim Jellison is the one who called in guns to a civil civil deposition because he didn't want the person he was bullying to have devices to be able to continue recording. And he had devices the whole time. It's just that his batteries were going low. It was so. Pasco County Cop Watch, thanks for the $4.99. Charles Jesse Miller, thanks for the $1.99. Tony Sweet, thanks for the $2. It's not safe for him to be there alone right now. Yeah, it's they're in a room where they say that we cannot bring a camera in, or he cannot bring a camera in. Nobody can bring a camera in but them. But they've got this big old movie camera set up in there that's recording everything and everyone. It's always the same with John Nolan. With John Nolan. He's got
do as I say, not as I do.
To control everything, control the narrative. He is a control freak, which is probably why he grabbed me by the neck and threw me to the ground yesterday, because when I published what I published about him, I didn't get his permission to publish that story. He hates when people do things without asking him first, without him being in total control.
Right.
He's a narcissistic, psychopathic, absolute danger to society.
Blonde Girl, not a super chat, but a really good chat. She said, how is
Now,
Jellison spelled?
With him saying that and then going to his house and knocking on his door, he'd be wrong too. Because of what he knows. You cannot convince a jury that you wasn't trying to get a reaction knowing what you just said. A threat's a threat, man.
It's like Ellison. It's like the name Ellison. So it's like ELLIOSN or ISON, but with a J.
You know, they're not in their official capacity either. People forget that. Did anybody think of that at all? Besides me? You knock on somebody's door that you called a threat that has already manhandled you and assaulted you, and you've already pressed charges on them. And a year later, you're knocking on their door. Come on, man. He's not in his official capacity. Why would you do that? Because you wanted some type of a reaction. That's exactly what it was. What else would it be for? Sit there and plant corn together? Hey, come on outside, let's plant some corn. With all this land you got, you know? Let's plant a couple more trees for some more privacy that you want.
All right, so it's JELLISON.
Ridiculous.
I think that's how you spell it. We can get that for you later, but that's the
I'm
best
being real,
spelling that we can have. He's a lawyer out of the Phoenix area.
Pan CHF for the $10 super chat. What's the main reason for not finding a lawyer? Money or something else? So he found a lawyer that was willing to take money, but not on a contingency. When you have civil lawsuits like this, any half-decent lawyer does it on a contingency because they know you were severely wronged. They're going to make money off of it. And so they say, oh, you sign a contract and they're going to get 30% of whatever they get for you. I don't know why, but this has been an ongoing problem in Arizona for as I grew up here, and people have never been able to find. I don't know.
What's that?
I don't want to throw a conspiracy out there, but I mean, why isn't there a lawyer in Arizona that will sue a blatantly wrong somebody
You're not
who
doing anything wrong, Will.
harmed somebody? It's almost like they're all working together.
Yeah, you
So-
hear that? Do you hear that? Now, let's go back to what Lowdime says. See that? Or Freeman's a CIA fake arrest and it was all a 6-hour debrief, right? Listen to what Freeman just said. He thinks that way too. So it's not like the possibility hasn't arisen in because the thought is in his head. Listen.
Get that for you later, but that's the best spelling that we can have. He's a lawyer out of the Phoenix area.
Pan CHF for the $10 super chat. What's the main reason for not finding a lawyer? Money or something else? So he found a lawyer that was willing to take money, but not on a contingency. When you have civil lawsuits like this, any half-decent lawyer does it on a contingency because they know you were severely wronged. They're going to make money off of it, and so they say, oh, you sign a contract, and they're going to get 30% of whatever they get for you. I don't know why, but this has been an ongoing problem in Arizona for as.
Now watch his facial expressions because it's a thought that we had when we kind of said it in a humorous way. He does the same thing.
As I grew up here, and people have never been able to find this. I don't know. I hate to.
See that right there? He went from a serious face to the humorous face because he's about to say what me and Lowdimes was saying.
I don't want to throw a conspiracy out there, but I mean, why isn't there a lawyer in Arizona that will sue a blatantly wrong somebody who harmed somebody? It's almost like they're all working together.
So we got some
it's not too
communication
far
between his
to
previous
question
lawyer
any
Yeah.
of it, right?
and
Think
the other
about
guy, and nothing really revealing. It was just you could feel the praise that they had for each other.
I used
His
to
lawyer
say,
was praising the city's
just-
lawyer,
yeah,
saying, "Wow,
just
you
messing around. I would say they're all working together against me. You know, honestly, I mean, you're not too far off, man.
did a great job yesterday, man."
It was like he was setting himself up for. They were in the same club.
Yep.
Hey, remember me, and I'll remember you when it comes to our time to be a judge or whatever. That was their club. It's like they're talking.
And
They're like,
that's how the 1A community is too. They do that with each other because they're in competition. While you're at it, and because you're here, and hi, and here's a handshake, and here's my number, right? Drink a cup of coffee, iced coffee, whatever, a beer. Season the moment. Come on, guys. This is how people get along. This is how the real world turns. Anyway, I'm just saying that because it's true. Okay.
hey, we're on the same team here. Everybody else gets screwed, but we're good to each other, right? And just that feeling, that scummy feeling, was something that, like, hey, there's something wrong here. And if that's the lawyer talk, I totally get it. I totally understand. But there's this whose side are they on kind of thing that was just, it felt wrong.
I don't know. I know how to be diplomatic myself without making it perfectly clear that, hey, I'm on your team and we're going to screw this guy over together. And that was, hey, I'm on your team. We're going to screw this guy over together. The Vigilance Committee, thanks for the $20. We need unity more than ever in order to affect change. Thank you. Kinetic Customs Racing, thanks for the $10. Every auditor in every state needs to group together at state capital in respective states on same day. We need to get national attention, 50 large auditor groups. I don't know. What do you think of that?
I guess I like what Larkin Rose says. He says it's more about changing people's hearts and minds. So whatever you do to fight, that's great. Start helping us change people's minds.
Yeah.
That is. So let's say
Thank
you
you.
don't do anything personally.
Mhm.
If you change your mind and if you help another person change their mind, that is way more valuable than all of that on the long term, right? Because remember the American Revolution. Oh, we're gonna go against this guy that put a 10% tax on us. And then what? What happened after that? You have to change your mind, or else you're just setting the whole world up for the next big thing, the next big thug.
If you guys aren't, thank you. I was just going to be, yeah, your response was great. Thank you. Documenting the downfall. Thanks for the $20. You are a goddamn patriot. Thank you.
My wife and I was just talking the same crap. She was talking about like how she wakes up and how people are these days and how you can't trust the government, all that good stuff. And I was like, just say it, baby, just say it. So say it, Felicia. Say it. Say what you just said to me.
Oh.
You Orwellian
Do you know?
Orwellian
Orwellian
totalitarian.
totalitarian.
She's like, you Orwellian totalitarian sons of bitches.
Communist motherfucker.
Communist mother.
Let me go back to sleep for a minute. I'm going to pick up saying, you communist motherfuckers, get the fuck out of here. You don't belong in
Yeah.
our country.
Oh my God, man.
Communists do not belong here. They need to go somewhere else. They need to stop changing our country.
Well, that's what's in all these municipalities. What do we do about it?
Fucking take them out.
Oh, no. No.
Not
You don't mean that, no. Hey, baby, you're dismissed, baby. I love you.
That's not violence. No, getting them out of office.
Oh,
They
okay.
need to go.
Right. I understand. Right. Got to vote them out, right?
Yeah, vote them out.
All right.
So it's time to do something else.
What do you think, y'all? Do you love her? Give me a one if you love her.
You guys don't love me.
She's awesome. She just woke up, y'all.
You would though. I'm on a roll sometimes.
Yeah.
Lady motherfuckers want to send home on welfare and change their fucking peckers to pussies.
Oh,
I mean,
boy.
What the hell?
Look at it.
I guess I
Hey,
didn't.
oh, wait, he's laughing at that.
Like, goodbye, Felicia.
Where'd they all go? All right, man.
If you're a man, you should not have a tally. You should have a tallywhacker, not the other way around. You don't have breast.
All right, baby. We're not into that, though. We're not.
You guys don't do that.
We're talking about
Me too.
the Orwellian totalitarian. That's just one little thing that they try to brainwash us with. We're talking about the rest of the municipalities that won't allow us to watch them in the course of their duty and to be the oversight. Somebody's got to be their oversight.
Fuck, they are supposed to have oversight.
You don't
The
have to
problem is
cuss. You don't have to cuss.
Nobody's looking. Nobody's looking.
Right. That's
That's the problem.
are you
No
some
one
are
is
you
looking.
are you somebody? All right, I'm somebody too, and we got cameras.
Well, I'm thinking about taking.
Well, we are the people. We get the evidence and we forward it. All right, man.
Hey, after seeing Jen I'm going to Congress.
You want to run for Congress?
Yeah, I'm getting those out of there. You gotta go.
Oh boy,
I've been really
she
thinking
could
about
get
it.
away with it. My wife's talking about running for Congress. Damn.
I'm going
You never know. You never know. She might be the next congresswoman here. Take a look. Take a listen. Lachlan.
Melissa's gotta go. She's gotta
I
go.
mean, my wife's more intelligent than she is. She's got more common sense, and she's pretty much right there in the middle where everybody needs to be.
You know, I'm like in the Clinton days. To be honest with you, what a lot of people don't realize is right now, Donald Trump is like a Clinton.
He is.
He's like the
He
Democrat
is.
30 years ago.
He is.
So that's what we are. He's a middle person. He's not a right or left like people think.
Yeah.
He is a middle person.
Well, people were so anti-American and anti-government, and especially all these guys. These guys are anti-government because the government has screwed up so much they don't trust them.
I don't trust them either. I think they all need to be abolished, and we need to start all over again.
Well, how do you do that?
You gotta get them out. You personally have.
I mean, don't threaten nobody, but you know what I mean.
No, I'm not talking about taking them out.
Right.
Vote them out.
Right.
You gotta get them out.
Exactly.
Actually, all you guys do is sit home today on TikTok and make TikTok videos, and you can be a congressperson. At all. You don't even have to say any fucking words. You can just be retarded. You could be retarded as hell and be a congressperson.
See how that rolls?
Jasmine Crockett has proven that. You could be a total fuck.
Does anybody even know who Jasmine Crockett is? What's up, Robert Wolf? I don't even think they know who he is, honey. She, he, whatever.
Learn who these people are because they are not for you.
Stand up a little bit to get into the camera. I mean, you keep disappearing and it makes my background look terrible. See my background? My nice home?
What the fuck? We got a nice home.
Huh?
So we got a nice home.
I know. I just wonder, well, I mean, you know why I picking this up and putting it out there. It is what it is. That's the boss, y'all. I love her so much. I'm so lucky. See that, behind every good man, there's a great woman, right? That's why Tammy, I believe that's her name, stands behind Mr. Red here, Redbeard. You know what I mean? Anyways, let's listen to the end here when he's wrapping it up.
Complete lawless, violent thug. An absolute danger to society.
You got 20 dabs from Twisted Silver Tongue.
Did you hear that? You hear that?
Hey, what's up, Fire Marshal? Oh yeah, about the fact that they locked Steve Aiken in there.
Yeah, unbelievable. He's a prisoner. He's a prisoner of the deposition right now. He can't freely walk away. There's got to be some rule of civil procedure that says that's not right.
That you can't hold the deponent hostage.
Yeah,
Oh, shit,
yeah, that's
somebody
insane.
in chat, help us find that rule of civil procedure where you can't hold someone hostage to perform a deposition.
This chief is insane,
It's a
dude.
crazy.
He is absolutely insane. Mike Cucumber, James, we've been trying to teach you about
Richie.
Richie. Thank you, Mike Cucumber.
About your car's extended warranty. That's hilarious.
Oh yeah, I guarantee there's a fire code against it. But the Chief Nolan doesn't care at all. He's a complete lawless, violent thug. An absolute danger to society.
There it is. So you could not convince a jury if you went and knocked on his door, right? Because you know that he is violent, you know that he's a danger, and you know that you would get a response. Flat out, point blank. That's what I'm trying to say. Everything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. And that's where they got Sean. And Sean don't understand it. Sean, you either make your deal, dude. Save yourself some time. Manipulate. Do your best. Because they got you, dude.
You got 20 dabs from Twisted Silver Tongue.
Hey, what's up, Twisted Silver Tongue? He's an OG, man, from back in the days of my first channel.
Nice.
Yeah, he's an OG.
They must be sweating.
I think I might sleep out here while we wait for Steve.
Yeah.
I think I might finally be coming down and crashing from my.
Can we get an Uber that, or no, what is it, like the people that bring you food, but they just bring us a pillow?
I think we can actually.
Yeah, let's get some. Hey, help us fund that, guys. Help us fund the chat to give James Freeman a pillow.
I didn't.
Jim need a blankie, some tissue, some butt hurt cream, and a pillow.
I didn't sleep at all last night. I got high.
You know, the
yesterday.
butt hurt cream is for them when they tell him to get out of here because he's taking a nap. You know.
Yesterday on adrenaline. I got high on getting my ass beat. Wasn't the first time. Probably won't be the last.
Should we live stream you?
Has anybody ever seen James Freeman get tased?
All day.
In front of the
We'll set up a
PDM.
tripod.
It's already like 100 degrees out here.
It's
right
really
now,
hot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Freeman die free, $10 super chat. I've had Secret Service tell me they can just call a prosecutor and get something to stick, even though no crime. Been at gunpoint by local PD, FBI week prior to J6. It all needs major comeuppance. Yeah, you're absolutely right. There doesn't have to be a crime committed for you to be charged with a crime or even convicted of a crime.
Oh.
So.
Because they what? They pull from
I gotta
what?
say that I am really, really lucky and really grateful for my friends and family and the support system that I have around me, because a lot of people don't have that.
There
And
you go.
the truth is, there's no way that I could bear these burdens without the support of the people around me.
My man.
People
I'm glad he
directly
said
around me,
that.
people that
I'm so glad
you
that he
guys don't
said
ever
that.
see or ever hear about. There was somebody who managed to sneak into the hospital last night to see me. Did you know that?
Yeah. We heard, and we were grateful.
A good friend that was able to sneak into the hospital. Right. I am
I wonder who that was.
really, really, really incredibly blessed to have so many good people around me. Appreciate us home with the $4.99. I need to spend to get my word out at all. Yes, we're broke and going through foreclosure now. Well, send an email, realjamesfreeman@gmail.com, and I'll send it over to my associate, because I don't read emails.
Yep, I'll take care of that. Don't spend any more money. Don't give any more money, James. We'll get you. But we still need money for the pillow. Anybody else? That is a real thing. It's going to happen. I'm placing the order now.
Everybody else, donate for a pillow.
Yeah. It is happening, James. It's actually on its way.
No way.
I'm dead serious.
Oh my God.
I'm dead serious.
I'm not going to lay on a pillow in 100-degree weather and
You're
fall asleep, but it's still awesome.
For
that
the
it's
video,
happening.
you are going to.
But it's
We got to do it for the video.
Made in America. Thanks for the $9.99 super chat. Appreciate it. Kinetic Customs Racing, $10. Prohibiting obstruction. IFC section 1003.6 states the path of egress travel cannot be interrupted, and obstructions are not allowed in the minimum width or required capacity of means of egress. The way that this station is built, to anybody who doesn't have a key to get into secured areas, there is no way. Should there be an emergency, there is literally no way for Steve Aiken to get out of this building, because they've locked the front door and locked him in there.
Damn.
Yeah.
All right, man. I'm done. He's done. He's sitting here sweating his balls off. All right, guys. I just want to do the update. You guys have a great day. God bless. Wolfie's going back quiet reading the mail for show. See ya. Won't want to be ya.